Hello there. Today I will share with you a comment of mine which I wrote and posted on our website on the occasion of the end of the former and the beginning of the new century, namely the 21st century. My name is Reni Sentana-Ries, and the post I referred to I called "For the Record" and wrote it on June 26, 1999. I believe the words I spoke then are just as valid today and well qualify as a message to this world's leaders today as it did then. And this is what I wrote at the time. The world has reached its moment of truth. The year 2000 AD has prophetic significance, and man is still busy trying to figure out what that significance is. The affairs of this world are still going wrong as much now as ever, and if today's leaders' mindset does not change to include a spirit of true brotherhood among races, then the year 2000 will have come and gone without a signal of hope for the people to anticipate a brighter future for themselves and their children. For the rulers to think it is the masses' responsibility to make this world a better place are shirking their responsibility to seize the opportunity and give them a better life. Today's leaders and rulers will never be acquitted of their duty to labor for the freedom of their people from oppression of any kind. The leaders must understand they are not here for the purpose of self-glorification and feasting on the slave labor of the poor and oppressed, but to make this world a better place to live in for all. The opportunity is great in that we have good news for all of this world's leaders. Your past sins, so to speak, will be forgiven the moment you include the poor and downtrodden people of this planet in your restoration of justice toward them and labor toward their reclamation from misery. This I speak as one being familiar with the spirit of revelation, for Uthrania and I have been informed of neutralization of all negative karma of this life and past lives for those who in this life stream seize their opportunity to become one with the brother and sisterhood of light. This position is being taken by the high councils of all intergalactic affairs by reason of Earth's critical point in equinoctial time. Uthrania and I are not on the Arabia Online forum displaying our craft for profit or glory or entertainment. We say to any skeptic of our sincerity and veracity the following: events which will come into your immediate future will show in plain view that what we have spoken of concerning this planet's dangerously unstable situation is indeed so. And when the stabilizing factor of strategically placed intergalactic craft will be removed, then this world will come to its end. This will happen regardless of whether you world leaders elect to work with us or not. In that area, your cooperation will make no difference. This world will become deluged and also burnt to a crisp. The difference between your cooperation or lack of cooperation with us, who are held hostage here in the West by powers ruling the Western world, is this: if you will not work with us, you will be left to perish in the floods and fires. Conversely, if you cooperate, you will become evacuated or rescued with us before oceanic breakers hit the continents. And don't think to have a good time and a great party with the Pope to usher in the new era. Partying from your fat bank accounts while the masses starve will earn you no credits with the high councils of this universe. And what is it that we expect you to do? To begin with, simply this, and I speak to the governments of this world. Boycott the American dollar in your country's trade with other nations. There is nothing sacred about the US dollar that should qualify for it to be the only currency with which to pay your trade with other nations. Accept each other's currency, for heaven's sake. Secondly, stop recognizing paying your phony debts to the international community or bankers, so-called, which consist of nothing but private hellion bankers by whom you have been sincerely duped because you leaders have never understood how their system of money really works. And thirdly, leaders of the nations, get us out of Canada and into a place of safety. From past experience, we have not been permitted to properly look after ourselves, and the Canadian authorities do nothing to keep us safe. Uthrania wants to go to Iraq. That was around the 2000 year mark. Yet the bombs are still raining there on people's heads. Iraq is the nerve center for mankind's healing, but not for as long as the American-British military gangsters keep smashing the people's infrastructure there. For as long as you, other nations' leaders, stand idly by, watching and doing nothing to stop American-British aggression against Iraq, you will allow your only chance for recovery of your own country to become smashed. There will be no new millennium features of peace and goodwill toward all without Iraq being included in it. And do not for a moment think that you have to depose of our present government first before she becomes salvaged onto reconstruction. The heavens work with people, and sometimes they may not be to your liking. But this is your test of sincerity towards true peace and harmony among all nations. Bury your hatchets and start over again, and do so without compromise towards debauched Zionist imperialist thinking. How dare you deride the government of Saddam Hussein while working with and condoning the truly diabolical worldwide entrenched government of political Zionism? Why have you neglected to inform yourselves of Zionism's blueprint from the protocols of the learned elders of Zion? For as long as you will not dare to come to terms with that thorny issue of Zionist world control, you will be left behind at the end of this world and perish in ever-growing calamities to befall you all, culminating in the end of this world and your death. I have spoken of evacuation. Now I tell you, evacuation will not be for you for as long as you will neglect the use of your governmental authority to do what is right to save your nation from perishing. The consequences of your inaction will at last fall on your own head. Uthrania, myself, and very few others will evacuate. That is a given fact. But we are here wishing to share that experience with you. There is enough space in our intergalactic brotherhood's ships for the safe evacuation of 6.5 billion people. In closing, I share with you what Hatton told us in 1994, and this is a scribing by Uthrania. Hatton said, "Military maneuvers are actually quite stimulating if you happen to be within the proximity of the right side of the fence. Do protect your butts, be wise, secede, for within the unknown force behind all areas of your very life here upon this planet, which forces, of course, we ourselves are most familiar with, and in due time will so you be, find within each of yourselves the strength to march straight in the beaten path of the righteous. No matter what the cost of truth is, hold her, the truth, in the greatest esteem and pay a high tribute to its force, for in the end each one of you will find yourselves accountable in fact and fiction upon your honest integrity in light of circumstantial events pertaining to the period at hand. Good evening. Hatton out. Transmission off." And he closed off at 7:19 p.m. on that day. Thank you for listening. As I said, this is Reni, Sentana-Ries. Please don't hesitate to see our webpage. My webpage is facebook.com/Sentana-Ries, Sentana-Ries. Thank you, and we'll see you again. Good night.